Paddy, are
Yeah,
you streaming already?
I thought I was. uh,
I'm just chatting to him because I'm feeling the audio is a bit changing the pitch a little bit up. I've never seen this before like that. I don't know what's if changed, but it's not really bad, you know.
right.
But it seems like yeah. Just no. Go ahead. I don't think we could fix that for now. We need to turn off everything and turn on again. So I think it would be just the only way.
I'm seeing the live stream up here on YouTube now. So, but I'm not seeing it on. I'm seeing live stream up here on YouTube now. So, but I'm not seeing it on. Right.
Can you hear that back?
Yeah.
Sounds okay for you?
Yeah. I just need to get it going, really.
Okay.
What's
Perfect.
so? I don't see it live on Facebook. Maybe I'll refresh. I'm not seeing it on Facebook. Sorry, folks, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a minute. I'm just still trying to get my head around this stuff. Ah, okay, something's happening here now. Okay, that's going to come up now. So, if you're watching, thank you very much for joining me. Sorry for all these little hiccups getting started. You're very welcome. I'm going to do something similar to this every Friday is the plan, if you haven't already been on one of these calls. So the idea is I'll sing a couple of songs from the Irish, mostly from the Irish folk tradition, and I'll give some background to it. And, well, I hope you enjoy it, really. There's nothing more to say. You can get me here every Friday, and come June, the first Friday of June, I'll be doing a whole new show with a whole new set of songs. But every Friday from now till June, for the next 3 weeks or whatever that is, you'll be getting this same thing again. So let's see what happens. Okay. I'm going to start with a song which is not typically an Irish folk song. It's actually sung by Van Morrison, and but it's really lovely, and it really it taps into this sense of a lovely summer's day in Ireland. And it's called "Steal My Heart Away." Sorry, still little quirks I gotta get used to here. And unresponsive keyboards. Good. Okay, so this is "Steal My Heart Away" by Van Morrison. Oh, I can hear the sound of violins. I can hear the piper play. But I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. The journey's longer than I thought, my love. There's lots of things coming the way, but I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. On a morning in May like this, see the heather on the hill. There's a place way up the mountainside where the world is standing still, just like the sunshine after rain. I will come to be with you to save the day, but I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. On a morning in May like this, see the heather on the hill. There's a place way up the mountainside where the world is standing still, just like the sunshine after rain. I will come to be with you to save the day, but I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. Yes, I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. Yes, I know when I'm with you again, you will steal my heart away. Right, so that is Steal My Heart Away, a beautiful song by Van Morrison. Putting back on my cap, which I flung away in a fit of rage because of all the little tech troubles I was having. So, yeah, that's a beautiful song, which is referring to the month of May and a morning in May like this. So, and it's a really beautiful song. So, anyway, that's why I chose it. Okay. This, actually, I'm going to just do this song. I don't know if anyone's watching, and if you are, welcome. I hope you're enjoying it. Actually, I was told I need to slow down and speak more clearly for our European friends. So, if you are watching and you do need me to slow down, mention it in the comments. I'm doing my best to follow this stuff, but I'm a little bit illiterate. So, yeah, I think I can see if there's anything happening there. Good. And that's there, so that's good. Okay, so this is one of the classic Irish folk songs, which, well, I'll explain a little bit about when I'm finished. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. He first produced my pistol and then produced my rapier. Said, stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver. My sharing numadoo-dumada. Whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket and I brought it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me, but the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. My sharing numadoo-dumada. Whack fall my daddy-o, whack fall my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went up to my chamber, all for to have a slumber. I dreamed of gold and jewels, and sure it was no wonder. But Jenny took me charges, and she filled them up with water, then sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, just as I rose to travel, up came a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for she'd stolen away me rapier. I couldn't shoot for water, so a prisoner I was taken. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, and some take delight in the hurling and the bowling. Me, I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning bright and early. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, it's my brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll come with me, we'll go rambling in Kilkenny, and I'm sure he'll treat me better than my own unsporting Jenny. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. My sharing, dummy-doo-dummy-da. Whack fall me daddy-o, whack fall me daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Right, so that's whiskey in the jar. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a second, but I have somebody to admit on the Zoom call now. Claudia. Claudia? Kannst du... can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Juice, how are you?
I am well. I just try to get the camera on. Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm going to go on with the show because it's live streaming, but we can have a chat at the end if you want to wait around a bit.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm here. Oops.
Deadly. So if you mute your camera and I'll mute your microphone, I mean, and
I will.
I'll go down.
Hold on a second.
So. How do I do this? Spotlight. Grand. Now, so for anyone who's just joined me, you're welcome. Claudia, you are welcome. I just played two songs. The first one was just a very pleasant song by Van Morrison. And then the second one was Whiskey in the Jar, so I'm afraid you missed that, Claudia. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the song. Versions of it are known to have existed since 1650, and it was made popular by the Irish folk band The Dubliners in the 1960s. And in 1973, it was recorded by Ireland's first great rock band called Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy were a big influence on Metallica, and Metallica recorded their own version in 1990, which is similar to the Thin Lizzy version. This most famous version is set in the 1700s, and it is about a rapparee. A rapparee was a highwayman. So he's a rapparee who robs a captain of the English army working in Ireland. So he brings the money home to his girlfriend, who promises not to betray him. But while he sleeps, she steals his sword and puts water in his pistol so that it cannot be fired. And he calls the captain who he had just robbed. So this leads to his capture. Then he says that the only one who can help him now is his brother in the army, if only he can find him. And the suggestion is that his brother will rescue him and they will go on the run together in Kilkenny. Or, well, around the country. So yeah, the character is, as I said, a rapparee. So these were fighting men who refused to accept English rule. So the background to that was, for most of the 1700s, Catholics, who were the majority indigenous population, they had been barred from public office, from attaining a third level education, and from buying land, among many other injustices. So it was impossible for most of these indigenous Irish Catholics to accumulate any kind of wealth, and so many chose to live a life of crime, stealing and harassing the English officials and the colonists who had taken their land. So the likely outcome of this kind of life was death, but at least one could enjoy the nice things that life had to offer while it lasted. So that is why the song is a celebration of having whiskey in the jar, which is having whiskey in your glass. So that's whiskey in the jar. I'm going to have a quick look at what my friend Miguel is pointing out here. Yeah. Okay. No. Sorry. If you've just joined me, these are teething problems. I've spent all day trying to work out a lot of this stuff, and it's been going not swimmingly. Right. Okay, so this next song is it's called McAlpine's Fusiliers. So throughout much of the 1800s and the 1900s, Irishmen left Ireland to find work. Most went to Britain, but many went to the US and Canada and Australia. So many who went to Britain in the 1930s found work with the construction company of Robert McAlpine. And McAlpine was one of that generation of great industrialists who came from poor beginnings, like fellow Scotsman Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford. He was involved in large civil construction projects like roads and railways and canals. The most famous of the projects that he worked on, that he was behind, was the Glenfinnan Viaduct. That's the beautiful railway bridge that you see in the Harry Potter movies. So, the character in this song talks about his experience as a navvy, as an Irish navvy. A navvy was a navigational engineer, and that's those were working men who were working on these types of projects with the McAlpine company. It talks about how they drank their sub. Your sub was when you would get an advance payment on your wages, and they would then spend it on beer. And it says that it's in the spike you will find them. A spike is like a temporary cabin where workers live while working on a project away from a town or a city. So it talks about working with Russians and Czechs and Poles, all these people who had left the Eastern Bloc, on hydroelectric dams and in tunnels under the Thames River in London. And it talks about if rain stopped you from working, you would not be paid. And it also says that tea breaks were strictly forbidden. Yeah, and so he describes how a co-worker falls and is killed, and after how the foreman, the boss, his only concern is that he does not have enough men to do the work, so he doesn't obviously care too much about the man having died. So the song is satirical, and there are conflicting accounts of how good or how bad working conditions actually were. So this is McAlpine's Fusiliers. Now, yeah. As I was going, that's the wrong song. It was down the glen came MacAlpine's men with their shovels slung behind them. It's in the pub that they drank their sub, and it's up in the Spike you will find them. Well, they sweated blood and they washed down mud with pints and quarts of beer. And now we're on the road again with McAlpine's Fusiliers. Well, I worked till the sweat, it had me bet, with Russian, Czech and Pole, on shuddering jams up in the hydro dams, or underneath the Thames in a hole. Well, I grafted hard, and I got my cards, and many's the ganger's fist across my ear. When the going gets rough, well, you must be tough with McAlpine's Fusiliers. Well, I stripped to the skin with the darky Flynn down in the Isle of Grain, on shuddering jams up in the hydro dams, or underneath the Thames in a hole. Well, I sweated hard and I got my cards, and many's the ganger's fist across my ear. When the going gets rough, well, you must be tough with McAlpine's Fusiliers. Well, I stripped to the skin with the darky Flynn down in the Isle of Grain, on shuddering jams up in the hydro dams. No money if you stop for rain. When McAlpine's God was a well-filled hod, your shoulders cut to bits and seared. And woe to he who went to look for tea with McAlpine's Fusiliers. I remember the day that the Bear O'Shea fell into a concrete stairs, with the horse face said when he saw him dead, well, it wasn't what the rich call prayers. I'm a navvy short, was the one retort that reached up to my ears. So if you prize your life, don't join by Christ with McAlpine's Fusiliers. It was down the glen came McAlpine's men with their shovels slung behind them. It's in the pub that they drank their sub, and it's up in the Spike you will find them. Well, they sweated blood and they washed down mud with pints and quarts of beer. And now we're on the road again with McAlpine's Fusiliers. Right, so that's a great song made famous, I think, mostly by the Dubliners, and written by a man called Dominic Behan. Right, let me see what am I going to do next. Well, it's the month of May, which is often regarded as the month of the worker. Hence, I'm going to do the song I've just done, and I'm going to do another working man's song just in a moment. Let me just have a quick look at the what's happening online. Yeah. Okay. And
But can I interrupt you? Sorry for a second.
what's up?
I think that the application, the software that you are using to stream through YouTube is changing the pitches. It's making problem with the sound,
Ah.
and I don't see it works on on Facebook anyway. So I think you should stop that and share again to YouTube and make another channel for YouTube. I think the only way to fix that because the sounds a bit, the pitch is a bit higher. Your voice sounds a little bit higher than the normal, you know,
Right.
high, and the audio is cutting a little bit. So
Right.
I think maybe if you stop the stream and stream again just to YouTube, not. I don't see the live on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't see it on Facebook either. Okay, good. I will do that now. Yeah.
Yeah, just a second, let's see, because I don't know which page you shared. Yeah. No, yeah, I can't see on Facebook. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, you're
Sorry
good.
to interrupt you, but I think that's option that you are using to stream
To YouTube
this problem.
is bad.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm going to quit that. In fact, I'm going to just quit. So sorry for anyone, Claudia. I know you're there.
I think there's 2 people watching there.
For God's sake. Not restream. So I'm going to just shut off restream.